Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. Now today's video is going to be on mute. Now the big thing that I really quickly want to talk about is the SMG-11 guys. So in general, I feel like with the SMG-11 you want to be taking your gunfights within a 15 meter range, and you shouldn't try to take gunfights outside of that range unless you're like very confident in your ability to control recoil, because the thing about the SMG-11, while most people tend to have trouble with the recoil, so that's why I would consider that 15-meter range to be like the comfort zone basically for most people. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't take gunfights outside of a 15-meter range, because like if you're like me and you get like a couple picks early on to SMG-11, like if there's somebody like halfway across the map, you're gonna swing them because you have confidence that you'll be able to win that gunfight, and that's totally okay. However, I do feel like for the brand new people that are introducing themselves to the SMG-11 or Mute in general, you should try to take most of your gunfights within a very close range area, and anything I would say anything below like 5 meters, we probably want to be using the shotgun. But to get us started here into this clip, guys, we're going to be over on Nighthaven. The enemy team is doing a very generic push where they're going for connector and they're going for IT warehouse push, basically. And the general idea for these guys that they're going to be going for is they're trying to make an execute for pillar. Now, the big thing that makes this push really hard to defend is when you allow somebody to play inside of IT. So what I need to do in this position that I'm playing for command, I can see that they're pushing for pillar. However, I'm getting audio that there's a guy that's inside of IT in this position. So I'm going to go ahead and swing aggressively and get myself a free kill on this Zofia, because once again, she's in that like nice like 5 to 10 meter area within me and her basically, so I'm able to get myself a very easy kill into her because SMG-11 is a very powerful weapon. Now, for context, the last two guys in this position are over by connector side, and what I want to do in this position is I kind of just want to play close with my Goyo here for pillar. Now, I did go for a nitro here for the hallway because that's where the Nomad was last seen. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to land it, but it doesn't really matter in this position. All we really have to do is prevent them from being able to walk through this pillar hop-in basically. And for context, my zombie's over by electrical, so I don't necessarily have to worry about an electrical in this position. I just have to prevent connector pillar hop-in basically, and them getting a kill onto me. So right here, I'm just going to be holding the hop-in, and I'm just waiting for somebody to shove their face into this hole, because it's the only play that they realistically have to be able to win this round. There's going to be an ace that's going to swing me. I'm going to go and get myself a free kill. And the last guy actually conveniently is going to rotate over to IT, which is the right play in my position because they can't win it unless they go through IT. And I expect him to do that, so I go ahead and swing for IT and get myself a free kill and secure the round. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about when it comes to playing mute is actually going to be for this next clip on Oregon here. And the general idea that I want you guys to have is that you want to be placing your mute jammers in places that deny drones. Now, personally, in my case, I feel like it's not really worth it to put a mute jammer on this wall. However, in the games that I was getting, occasionally people wouldn't bring anything to actually open up this wall, so I decided to do it myself. However, I do feel like with this mute jammer on the main wall, it'd probably be much better to have someone else play Bandit and bandit this wall, and then go ahead and put your mute jammer somewhere else, because it would have more value throughout the round for like drones and that type of thing. And the other thing that you guys want to be making sure you do is make rotates, make head holes, that type of thing. Just like overall set up the bomb site, because that's one of the really nice things about playing mute, is that you're going to be able to play the shotgun and be able to set up the bomb site, which I think is really important, because when you don't have a bomb site that's like very like prepped and organized and like set up with all the rotates, all the head holes, whatever, it becomes very difficult to actually win the round when you're not able to make like the basic rotations that you want to do. Now, right here, I have two of my mute jammers placed inside of attic, and the reason why I do that, I have one on the attic wall for trophy, and the reason why I do that is because I don't want like an ace to walk through trophy and ace charge that wall and make a little hole into attic, because that's going to create this like off-center pressure basically throughout the round that I want to try to avoid. And then I have another one for the walk-in for attic if a Maverick decided to push through the double wall for attic for big tower and walk up and try to make a play right there. I would basically play the mute jammer, and it would prevent him from being able to drone me out. So what I can actually do is I can actually rat in this corner. Now right here, there's going to be a ram trying to jump into my attic window. This is the corner that I was talking about that you can rat in, and he ends up jumping in. He doesn't drone at all, so I'm going to end up getting myself a free kill onto him by hiding in this little tucked corner inside of attic. And then right here, we're going to go ahead and pull out our nitro. It wouldn't be a step-by-step video if I didn't talk about a free kill that you guys can do with nitro cells. And you're going to see here, I'm going to toss one over the top of the trophy wall and get myself a double kill for the trophy door. And that one I feel like is really, really strong because 9 times out of 10, you can almost always get that nitro cell kill. And that's going to be a nitro cell I talk about in my free kill video. But next up, we're going to push into trophy here. Remember, guys, I just killed 2 people inside a trophy. That means this space is free. And there was at least one more guy outside the master balcony here. It's the thermite. All I'm doing in this position, I'm just waiting for a little bit of audio of him walking into master again because he was outside on the balcony. So I'm going to wait for a little bit of audio. I'm going to swing aggressively, have a little bit of swinger's advantage onto him, get myself a free kill, and that's going to eventually lead to us securing the round right there. Now, next up, we're going to be over on border. Now, I'm going to kind of fast forward through this clip because, long story short, the general idea that I'm looking for in this round in particular is that I want to play over and back archives at the beginning of the round. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to prevent the enemy team from going for some kind of rush play for the door. And that's the main reason why I'm playing in this backside. Now, unfortunately for me, the enemy team's not really going to try to push this or like try to force like a rush play or anything like that. So I'm going to end up kind of just rotating away from this position. I'm going to be placing more of my meat jammers down that I didn't get to do during the prep phase. And then in this type of position now, since there's not really much going on, it's a 3v3 position, I'm going to go ahead and get on cameras, try to figure out what the enemy team is trying to push. There's a buck downstairs in this position. I want to be aware of this guy because it's going to be an issue if he starts bucking the floor. And basically the general idea that I have actually in that position is that if he doesn't end up walking up metal and killing my teammate, I might actually have a play where I could drop the hatch on his head while he's bucking and potentially get myself a free kill onto him since the hatches are open in this position. But right here, the general idea that I want you guys to be aware of is that the enemy team's not making whatsoever, like no push for lockers wall at all in this position. So all I gotta really do is play these head holes inside of archives, and I recommend playing these head holes because it'll give you swinger's advantage for anybody that actually tries to walk in for office double. And right here, like I said, all I'm doing is just like the Oregon clip, I'm just waiting for a little bit of audio of somebody walking in, and I'm gonna swing aggressively and get myself a free kill on Nomad that's crouch walking through the double door and secure that free kill right there. And then right here, there's going to be a buck that ends up jumping in my archives window. However, I'm going to show you guys a little fancy nitro here where this nitro is actually a prediction of him reacting to me nitroing the window basically. So normally you would nitro the window in that position before he hops in. However, since he actually got in before I could toss the nitro, I'm going to toss it with the assumption that he's going to run away basically right there. And it's going to essentially land at his feet, giving me a free kill. And I wanted to quickly talk about that because it's not really like a topic I feel like that comes up a lot when it comes to nitro cells. But you want to try to always use your nitro cells in a way where they will land wherever the enemy player will move to, if that makes sense. And that's always like the main idea when it comes to nitro cells, and that's how you get more and more picks when you do play nitro cells. The next up, we're going to be over on bank, and the next thing that I want to talk about is this janitor door position for playing mute. And I really like mute in this position because you can just place like a mute jammer on the door, maybe you put mute jammers on the main wall, and then you kind of like put another mute jammer. I put one on the shield for next to stock, and that's like just to prevent like floor displays for that shield. And then that way we can like basically like double reinforce for the hallway walk up through top square basically is the idea. And then this is another ideal position for the SMG-11 because it's a nice close range quarters like gunfight position. And then also my shotgun is very effective in this position as well because one of the plays that I actually have is that if the enemy team does kill my player that is on my stock shield for the double door right there, then if they actually do get into stock, then I do actually have a potential play that I'm actually going to do in this clip where if they get into stock and they're playing it very aggressively, what I can actually do is I can pop the hatch and I can rotate down below using my shotgun. You're going to see here that a guy jumped into stock. I wasn't able to get the kill on him, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate below. Now, one thing I did actually mess up for in this position is that I nitroed where the yellow pings were instead of where he was most likely going to go to, which is going to be the double door in this position. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get this nitro cell. However, I am going to blow it up as I pass through this metal detector right here. And the general idea that I want you guys to have is that it's going to mask the sound of the metal detector, so it's going to allow me to walk up the metal staircase and get this nice little easy flank for Brava. We did see a Deimos that ran over towards lobby in this position, and like I said, we know there's a guy over by stock because he jumped in and got earlier in the round they killed my teammate there, so we know that he's pushing for the hallway in this position. So I swing aggressively. It's the nice range for the SMG-11, get myself a free kill on the 0 right there. Now it's a nice 2v1 position. There's only 15 seconds left in this round. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate down the staircase because I'm getting spam spotted. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of burn time. Now, ideally, my castle would also burn time in this position. However, what's going to end up happening is he's actually going to end up selling his body right here, which is going to cause me to have to, like, kind of just wait for a second longer. And that way I can guarantee that he's going to try to stick a plant inside of sight. And then I can go ahead and run up the staircase and look to kill him while he's hitting a plant and get myself a free kill and secure the round right there. But anyway, guys, that's going to pretty much do it for the main commentary that I wanted to have with Mute. Like I said, when it comes to the gadget usage, you should always be trying to place the Mute jammers in places that it's going to be very efficient for denying drones, in my opinion, and make it... Ideally, you want it to be able to deny drones, but you also want to make it so they're not easy to get shot by the enemy team as well. So the main idea is to counter the drones or Flores, anything like that. That's the main general idea. And then you want to be using your shotguns to basically go for rotates or head holes or whatever you need to do to set up the bomb site. Now, one thing that I didn't actually talk about that much that I really should have talked about was when you pocket a mute jammer and you basically play with like a mute jammer in your pocket and you look for like potential jump out plays where like, because one of the things that you can do with the mute jammer is you can actually jump out on people that like have a claymore set on a window. But basically the general idea that you do is that you wait for them to put their claymores down and then maybe they go on a drone, then you mute jammer their claymore and then you jump out and get yourself a free kill. That's one thing unfortunately I was not able to get a clip of me doing recently. But that's going to pretty much do it though for today's step-by-step video. I do hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And like I said, please make sure to like and subscribe. And I will have this extra gameplay clip playing in the background if you guys want to see some more new gameplay that I got. And I hope you guys enjoyed though. And I will see you in the next one. Peace!